Apple earnings break records again thanks to iPhone sales. Europe passes some controversial new net neutrality laws. Facebook's new message request will kill the phone number, and more. It's Tuesday, October 27th, and this is Crunch Report. Okay, we got a lot of earnings, so let's hit it off with Apple's. The world's most valuable company's fiscal Q4 continued to surprise and delight the street. Profit came in at $11.1 billion. That's up 31% from a year ago. And revenue was $51.5 billion, up 22% from last year. iPhone sales are the strong point here. Apple sold 48 million iPhones in the quarter, up from 39 million in the same period last year. However, iPad sales are down 19.5%. That's pretty significant. And the company was also more cautious about sales in the coming months, which include all-important holiday sales. $77.5 billion on the high end, which is the low end of what Wall Street estimates. The forecast follows a bunch of new products from Apple, the 6S and the 6S Plus iPhones, which are now available, a larger iPad, the iPad Pro, and the Apple TV, which starts shipping this week. In what Apple calls the Greater China region, and a very important market for the company, revenue grew to $12.51 billion from $6.29 billion in 2014, which kept it in place as Apple's second largest market after the Americas. Company shares spiked about 3% in after-hours trading. Big news from Europe today, where politicians in the European Parliament have agreed to end mobile roaming charges in the region by mid-2017, with significant cuts to fees starting next summer. EU-wide net neutrality rules will also begin on April 30th, 2016, and the second part is pretty controversial. Critics claim the proposed rules will undermine the principle that all network traffic should be treated equally because they favor fast lanes for specialized service and quality requirements that allows network owners to offer zero-rated services and net neutrality exceptions like, for example, during congested network times. Either way, national regulators in European member states will be responsible for ensuring that Europe's incoming net neutrality rules are adhered to. Facebook Messenger would like to fix the outdated concept of needing to know people's phone numbers to contact them. It's so yesteryear. Today, the company is killing off its other inbox. That was the place where messages from anybody who wasn't friend connected to you would live and die. People generally ignored it. Pretty much everybody did. Rolling out in its place now is Facebook's new message requests feature, meaning if somebody wants to contact you, they just need your name, but then you can control whether or not they can ever contact you again. So you'll see their name, a little public information about them, the city they live in, maybe their job, mutual friends, and of course the message, but they won't know you looked at that first message, and that's important if you're not interested. Message requests are basically friend requests for chat, but the message can be more personalized. In other Facebook news, the company wants its employees to remember that not all internet connections are the same speed, and has launched something it calls 2G Tuesdays. The program lets staff slow their mobile internet speeds down to 2G for about an hour, and it's opt-in, to better understand the issues that users in some parts of the world are dealing with on a daily basis. In fact, almost 1 billion of Facebook's monthly active users live outside the US and outside Europe, so knowing how the site loads and interacts is obviously very important. Now let's move on to Twitter earnings. It's kind of a different story than Apple earnings. The company announced its third quarter financial performance, which included revenue of $569.2 million and adjusted earnings per share of 10 cents. Now, those both beat analysts' expectations, but Twitter shares fell sharply in after-hours trading, over 12%, which is really not good. Here's why. User growth, or lack of it, which has been a big investor concern since Twitter went public. The company currently has 320 million monthly active users. That's up from 316 million in the preceding quarter. Not impressive growth. But as far as revenue goes, things look pretty good, up 58% compared to its year-ago tally. 86% of its ad revenue came from mobile, moving in the right direction. But looking ahead, Twitter estimates revenue between 695 and 710 million in the current quarter. That's a lot lower than the 739.9 million from the street estimates. Well, we started off with Apple and might as well end with Apple today. The company is now allowing users to make purchases on iTunes without needing credit cards, and instead just adding the amount of whatever they buy to whatever carrier they're using's monthly bill. The first set of users is O2 Telefonica customers in Germany, who, starting next month, can pay for apps or anything else they buy in iTunes by linking their phone numbers. No need for a credit or a debit card or even really a bank account. For people not on contracts, a specific amount can be debited from a prepaid amount they have added to their phones and then added into iTunes. O2 confirmed the partnership with Apple but declined to say which company was providing the back-end service to link up iTunes to O2's billing machine, although sources have pointed to billing providers Bango and Boku as possibilities. That's really their names. And that is the report for today. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs every weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TechCrunch.com. You can find us on iTunes and on YouTube as well. See you tomorrow.